Let's talk about one of the most jarring, abrupt dead ends you can hit on the internet. You know the one, that page that just stops you dead in your tracks, demands your attention, and leaves you kind of scratching your head wondering, what on earth just happened?
Yep, we've all been there. You click a link, you're expecting to see an article or maybe a product page, and bam, you slam right into this digital brick wall. It's frustrating, it's confusing, and honestly, it makes you feel like you did something wrong. But did you?
And look, this can happen literally anywhere. It could be a news site, maybe an online store you love, or some research page you desperately need. Doesn't matter. The door just gets slammed shut right in your face. So, what is this page actually trying to tell us? Is the website totally broken? Is there something wrong with your computer? Well, today we're going to play detective. We are going to solve this little mystery by breaking down this digital dead end using only the clues that are right there on the page itself. Okay, let's start our investigation. The very first clue, and maybe the most important one, is usually hiding in plain sight, telling us exactly why this happened in the first place. Right off the bat, this one sentence tells us something absolutely crucial. This is not an accident, it's not some random error message. No, this is a deliberate security measure. The website is actively trying to defend itself. So think about it this way. You haven't just stumbled upon a broken link. You've actually run into a shield. The website thinks something sketchy is going on, and it's protecting itself from what it sees as a potential threat. You just got caught in the crossfire. And here is our next big clue. The block was a direct response to something you did. The system is basically saying, hey, you did this, so we did that. And of course, that leads to the biggest question of all. What in the world did I do? So what could that action have been? Well, lucky for us, the page itself usually gives us a list of the most likely suspects. Now, it could be something as simple as a weird word or a strange phrase you typed into a search bar. Or it could be a little more technical. A SQL command, for instance, is basically a snippet of code that hackers love to use to try and break into a website's database. And malformed data is just, well, it's jumbled up information that looks suspicious, like an attack. The really tricky part? Your browser might have sent one of these things automatically without you even knowing it. But okay, it's not all doom and gloom. This isn't necessarily a permanent ban. This page doesn't just lock you out. It actually gives you a clear set of instructions for how to get back in. It shows you the path forward. And you know what? The process is surprisingly simple. It's really just a three-step plan. First, you email the owner. Second, you tell them what you were doing, something like, hey, I was just searching for videos of cats playing the piano. And then third, you give them one really, really important piece of information. See, to get this sorted out, you need to provide the evidence they need to actually investigate what happened. Think of it like filing a report. You can't just say, hey, I'm blocked. You got to give them a specific so they can figure it out. And this, right here, is the golden ticket. The Ray ID is essentially a unique fingerprint for this one specific block. It's like a case number. It lets the website owner dive into their security logs and find the exact moment you were blocked and, more importantly, why. It turns a vague "someone got blocked" into "this specific visit was blocked for this specific reason." The second piece of evidence is your IP address. Now, if the Ray ID is the case number, then your IP address is kind of like your location at the time of the incident. It's your computer's unique mailing address on the internet, and it helps the site owner confirm that it was definitely you who got blocked. Okay, so now that we've kind of cracked the case of the mysterious block page, let's zoom out for a second and think about what this whole experience tells us about the internet today. The biggest takeaway here is to stop seeing this page as a bug or an error. It's not. It's a feature. It's a deliberate, calculated part of the modern web. And it actually represents this fundamental tension that you see pretty much everywhere online. On one side, you've got your goal, right? You just want to access information freely and easily. But on the other side, you have the website's goal, to protect its data, its users, and itself from this constant, never-ending barrage of attacks from bots and hackers. In this block page, well, that's the exact point where those two goals crash into each other. And all of this leaves us with one last, pretty big question to think about. These security systems, they're designed to be shields, right? To protect. But when they're a little too aggressive, they end up blocking legitimate users, people like you and me. So it really makes you wonder, in this big fight for a safer internet, when does a website shield become a wall?